Hello, and thank you for taking the time to come and have a look at our latest video upload, The Secret Prayer, the 3-step formula for attracting miracles, by Dr. Joe Vitale, global best-selling author, The Attractor Factor and Zero Limits. He's a well-known self-help guru. So let's have a look inside his book and his claims to see if they actually work and they really deliver what they promise. Let's see over the next week or month or longer if we attract ourselves a miracle or 2 or 3. If we don't, well, we'll let you know and expose it as a no-go, useless, a load of bollocks. The Secret Prayer, the 3-step formula for attracting miracles. Table of contents. More content. A poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Foreword. Most people's prayers sound like letters to Santa Claus. Bishop John Shelby Spong. Dear reader, before you begin the journey of transformation that awaits you within these pages, take a moment to consider 3 questions. 1. How do people pray? Human beings are diverse, unique individuals. Their lives and mindsets are shaped by distinct circumstances, cultures and religions. And yet, with all of these various influences, prayers around the world tend to be very similar. Most people's prayers are a variation on the theme. Dear God, please give me, or give me. Oh, and give me some more. Thanks. Amen. In other words, most prayers beseech God to give something to the person praying, such as improved health, a new job, a better relationship, or a material possession. Even when our prayers are for other people, the underlying intent of the request can often be for our own good. For example, Dear God, please help my brother get a job. May have the hidden meaning, so he'll stop sleeping on my sofa. Although the prayer is technically for your brother, you're saying the prayer because it benefits you. Throughout the ages, irate ministers have excoriated their flocks for the sin of praying for their own self-interest. So what, they've given them crap. And many devout religious people have wrung their hands in sad resignation over the selfishness of give me, or give me, praying. Perhaps, just perhaps it is time we consider that the reason so many people pray this way is that it is natural for us to speak our secret desires to our God, trusting that these requests will be heard and fulfilled. There exists, coded within our very DNA, a knowing that the way to a better life, a life of health, happiness, love, prosperity, peace and contentment, is found through asking God to give us what we want. 2. How effective is such prayer? Having been a church minister for more than a decade, I didn't know Joe Vitale was a church minister, he can tell you that these give me prayers, or give me prayers, really yield the desired results. In fact, comedian, philosopher and societal gadfly George Carlin had it about right when he observed that prayers to God and prayers to the Son yield about the same results, 50-50. 50-50. Those are pretty lousy odds. If prayer were a vending machine, you'd only get your bottle of water about every other time you put money in. You'd go thirsty as often as you'd have a drink. That being the case, you'd probably stop using that particular vending machine. And yet, we continue to ask, when what we request is not what we receive, we rationalise through a smile of gritted teeth, oh well, it's God's will. Then we pray for something else. So desperate are we that our benevolent Father, Mother God, Universe will hear our requests and grant them. 3. What's the mystic secret? If it is natural for us to ask the divine to bring forth the outcomes, experiences and possessions we want, and begging God isn't working, what's the missing ingredient? It's a secret prayer. Rather than just a one-size-fits-all incantation that attempts to ignite the power of the universe around you, the secret prayer is a spiritual shift that ignites the power of the universe within you. Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard hinted at the secret prayer when he observed, prayer does not change God, but it changes him who prays. You are about to experience a deep, lasting and positive shift in all areas of your life. If you're ready to turn prayer into practical demonstration, then you're ready for the secret prayer. Blessings. Okay, this is no, it wasn't Joe Vitale, it was another guy. Reverend Will Bowen, international best-selling author and founder of a complaint-free world.org and worldpeace.org, which that's got 0921560. Acknowledgements. Promise yourself to be strong, that nothing can disturb you, to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind, to talk health, happiness and prosperity to every person you meet, to make all your friends feel that there is something worthwhile in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true, to think only of the best, to work only for the best and to expect only the best, to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful expression at all times and give a smile to every living creature you meet, to give so much time to improving yourself that you have no time to criticize others, to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble, to think well of yourself and to proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words but in great deeds, to live in the faith that the whole world is on your side so long as you are true to the best that is in you. The original Optimist Creed, written by Christian D. Larson in his 1912 book, Your Forces and How to Use Them. Introduction. Prayer is the effort to bring the human soul into tune with the infinite. William James Dawson. From what the author can see, prayer has been around since the beginning of time. According to the psychology of prayer, 97% of all Americans pray at least once a week. Even atheists admit that they sometimes pray. But as we all know, it doesn't always seem to work. Why not? What's the secret to having a prayer deliver? That's what you'll discover in the secret prayer, where the author reveals the 3-step formula for attracting miracles through this particular prayer. And he's not talking about anything and everything you could name as a miracle. When you think about it, what is impossible? Since we're talking about enlisting the help of something greater than you or I, what could be impossible to attract? Unless you're trying to bend or break the laws of physics, or have an unreal fantasy such as riding a unicorn around the sun, can't you have, do or be anything you can imagine? Aren't the only limits the ones you believe in? Aren't your beliefs open to inspection and change? The author also wants to face reality here. Many new agey people claim it's all good, while everything is all good. From a divine perspective, from a physical perspective, we have work to do. There are plenty of problems in the world. There are people suffering and starving. You may know some of them. You may be one of them. Dismissing the problems and challenges of life is a form of denial and self-sabotage. You have to be honest and note the issues before us. And you want to look beyond the issues to source. When you focus on the peace behind the problem, you begin to clean up the perceptions creating and attracting the problem. This is why the secret prayer is so helpful. It assists you in reconnecting with the essence of life, the divinity of life, the source of life. The more you can allow prayer to bring you home, the faster you will nullify the causes of the separation, and then you can see the miracle of right now. It's worth revealing how the author came across the secret prayer. You may know him from his books, audios and movie appearances. You may consider him an inspiration since he wrote a lot of self-help books, or a huckster since he sells numerous health books. You may like his methods or think they are simply mental diversions from living a life of hard work and struggle. What you may not know is that he is a seeker like you, a truth seeker, or a seeker, and he has been since the 1960s when he was a teenager. Others look for outside thrills, he looked for inside awakenings and so forth. He discovered new things such as Ho'oponopono and so forth. He earned a doctorate, and he talked some more about God and the law of attraction. It made him curious about how we use prayer, if we used it all to align ourselves with God, or whatever we call a great something, to have, do, or be whatever we imagine. Was that even possible? As usual, as he continued his research and meditating, he was led to rereading the book of Emmett Fox, an author he's always loved. His mental equivalent went a long way in helping him realise that everything begins with vivid thought, or all starts with a thought. Rereading Wattle's famous book, Financial Success Through Creative Thought, or as it is better known by its subtitle, The Science of Getting Rich, reminded him of everything comes out of some great energy vortex, and we call it forth with thought and action. Reading the letters of Brother Lawrence, the beloved monk of the 1600s, who taught us to practice the presence of God, meaning to spend every moment looking for, feeling and loving the source, helped him, the author, realise the power behind all manifestation was this divine something. And then one day he had an aha experience. In some of his books, such as the Awakening Course, he explains that we can have peeks into all that is, and those glimpses are called satori experiences in some cultures. He had such an awakening. Somehow the blend of prayer and law of attraction merged together into a new formula, a synthesis of ideas that create a powerhouse, new system for attracting virtually anything. He became as excited as if he had been hit by lightning, or the heavens opened and some great being had spoken to him directly. This new prayer was powerful. It is powerful. He put up an audio of him leading people through the secret prayer on secretprayer.com. Instantly thousands of people went to it, used it, and began to rave about it. Will it work for you too? Yes. How can he say that? When you realise that you are already a manifester and are already living a miracle for which you are grateful, the first step in the formula, then you can stop there. So the first step, by the looks of it, is be grateful. You already attracted something incredible, but add the next two steps, detach request and inspired action, and your further results are virtually guaranteed. Yeah, it sounds like got their name, Laura something, and her have an attitude of gratitude. Add the next two steps, detach request and inspired action, and your further results are virtually guaranteed. He's calling it a secret prayer because your prayer should be between you and your inner connection to all that is, or the source, or the something, or the creator. He's learned that sharing your prayers with others could weaken their power. Rather than invite doubt or negativity, keep your prayer to yourself. Let it be a, quote, secret, unquote, between you and divinity. We'll explore all of this together in this book. To get you started, here's the crash course in the secret prayer. 1. Active gratitude. 2. Detached request. 3. Inspired action. If you only read this far, and in your future prayers approach him from this perspective, you won't be disappointed. Of course, the author hopes you'll continue reading because he'll explore each of these in more depth. So yeah, he's suggesting read it, so pick up on it, as well as offer other fascinating tidbits to satisfy your curiosity about prayer. It's been his experience that most people don't actually believe their prayers. They pray without any real belief that anyone is listening or anything will happen. They simply toss one to the sky like a stranded person on an island throwing a note in a bottle into the ocean. They hope someone picks it up. Then they hope someone acts on their plea. Desperation is another problem. Most prayers are just begging People pray for help, solutions, miracles, healing, money and more. But when they pray, it's often because they don't see a way out and plead for intervention. Even when they do get an answer and inspiration, most people don't take action. This is common in the world of metaphysics. People often think praying is the only action they need to take. It may be an action, but it's not the entire blueprint to results. Prayer is a way to activate the law of attraction by requesting an intention and inviting inspiration. As the author has written and talked about in many places, it's not always easy to distinguish where an idea is coming from. Is it the voice of the divine or the ever wily ego? We're just talking to yourself, in your head, but not this time. When the author heard the call to write about this, he knew immediately it was from the divine. He could feel it, and immediately he set out to work. He knew he wanted this to be not only inspirational but also fresh, interesting, fun and insightful, playful even. As he began, he received more guidance and inspiration about how to do this, which books to read, stories to tell, and people to reference, both old and new. This book is the result of that inquiry. What you are holding is the answer to his own secret prayer. He prays it will help you with yours. Expect miracles. Love, Dr. Joe Vitale, and where he resides, his website, May 2015, and he's left a little PS for you. Your first step, act of gratitude. A joke. Once you enter the prayer loop, it's pretty difficult to get out. You pray, usually for something to be thankful for. You either receive it or you don't. If you do, you pray and give thanks. If you don't, you pray and ask again for something to be thankful for. Genuflect and repeat until death. Illumination. But in truth, our very ideas about logic and how one ought to come to conclusions about the nature of reality are informed by the usually unacknowledged presuppositions of the world in which we live. So the first step in trying to think about miracles is to see the presuppositions we bring to our thinking. Eric Metaxas, miracles. And he has a little rant. Okay, hi, Ghost Rider. He was thinking about prayer, and he was led to a book. And one of them, he was led to books, and one of them was a rare biography of Emmett Fox by Harry Gaze. Fox is a New Thought teacher who wrote many best-selling books, including an important booklet called The Mental Equivalent. He found Fox fascinating. He seemed sincere, focused, and was articulate, and explained that prayer was for us to get right with God, not for God to get right with us. The biography also talked about someone called Brother Lawrence and his message of practicing the presence of God. He had never heard of Brother Lawrence, but apparently his practice deeply influenced Fox, so he dug deeper. It turns out that Brother Lawrence was a monk in Paris in the 1600s who had an awakening at the age of 18. He was looking at a leaf, some stories say he was looking at a barren tree, and suddenly saw how it contained the past, the future, death, life, and all else. It triggered an experience of realizing God was in all. From that point, he lived his life until his passing at age 80, doing his best to stay conscious of the presence of God in every moment. His teachings, available in a little booklet compiled after his death, entitled The Practice of the Presence of God, still influences people today, including the author. He read Brother Lawrence's words and somehow awakened to the reality of the divine in and around us. Life took on a glow, a kind of luminosity and illumination. He would look out through the same eyes, but everything he had seen had brightness to it. Everything he looked on at had brightness to it, as if it was somehow more animated and empowered with even more life. It made him smile, it made him feel loved, and so forth. And more information. As Emmett Fox wrote in Sparks of Truth, whatever you experience in your life is really but the outpouring of your own thoughts and beliefs, but few know that as a first-hand reality. See through the costumes and the role, see the light inside each person, see the divine within, and like Brother Lawrence, see the whole and holy world unfold by looking at a leaf or a barren tree. And then he found a book titled Miracles. Reading Miracles on the flight, or he was on a plane, he came across this line: even though prayers are not offered only to get a desired result, there is little doubt that most miracles are the result of prayer. This implication is that we have to trust as we pray. We realize it's all divine, and we make our request for what we think is good for us, but we can't pretend to really know what is good for us. If there's intelligence behind it, or call it what you may, it has access to all possibilities that we can't possibly see from our little views of the world, and has a bigger and better plan for us. So we gratefully practice the presence of the divine, this first step, ask for what we want, the second step, and still allow the presence to run the show through us, the third step. When we are prompted to act, what the author called inspired action, the third step, we act. That too is the divine living through us. It is the divine giving us the cue that we are wanted on stage, and death by extension is the divine calling us off stage. Our current part is done. We bow and exit. The play continues. The author now felt the presence of divinity in each moment, and that may be the greatest secret prayer of them all. Best of all, you can do this too. Feel God, allow God, express God. If you practice this as your first and only step, you will be living the miracle. Everything after that is a gift, a continuation of the miracle. Look around. See if you can spot the presence right now. This moment is the miracle. You are the miracle. The divine whiteboard. Supply yourself with a mental equivalent, and a thing must come to you. Emmett Fox. Need some information on that. Understand this. Follow along in this short meditation. You have thoughts, but you are not your thoughts. You can observe them, so you are somehow detached from them. What is it in you that observes your own thoughts? You have feelings, but you are not your own feelings. You can notice when you are upset or happy, so you are somehow not those feelings. If you are separate from your feelings, who are you that is observing them? Okay, we're trying to find why is there something missing here. Okay, because it just goes to a self-help method called the secret mirror to help you look past your problems. The idea is to look in a mirror, but look within the image. You will see yourself, of course, at first, but as you gaze into your own eyes, you can begin to see the essence of you. This essence is what you want to focus on, to have, do, or be what you imagine. This essence within you is the whiteboard. Another way to look at this essence within is to consider the word pneuma. This is the ancient Greek word for spirit or soul, or the God inside. The author was reminded of the word while reading Emmett Fox's little-known book, The Science of Living. Fox said it is our divine self. All of these words are to help you get past the baggage of definitions into the real you, the essence behind it all, the divine you. The mystery of the secret prayer. The secret is to go with the mystery. Judith Orloff, MD. So I'm going to go back because it looks like, yeah, there's a couple of pages missing here. See, there's that. 12 and 13 are missing. So you may have to find an ebook of this or actually get the book, or he's made a total boo-boo when he wrote this book and hasn't realised it. Yeah, just 2 pages missing, or someone's edited them out. Yeah. The mystery of the secret prayer. The secret of faith. Whatever you experience in your life is really but the outpitching of your own thoughts and beliefs. Emmett Fox. The great something, or the creator, or the source has already given you life. Be grateful for that, and more good will come your way automatically, easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Gratitude makes the world go round. If the only prayer you say in your life is thank you, that will suffice. Well, that would be enough. Meister Eckhart. He has a nightly ritual. He calls it his gratitude hour. During his time, he sits in his bath or hot spa, whatever, outside, and he thanks the divine for everything and anything going on in his life, even the not so good stuff. Right? So forth. More information here. He's got like something of gratitude from a miracles coach offered one evening, and so forth. Gratitude answers everything. This is a stage you set up for step 2 in the secret prayer formula. Detach request. Out of the stage of being, your next moments will then be even more beautiful, and you begin to attract more things, more experiences, and more moments to be grateful for. Gratitude answers everything. So what we suggest is get hold of this book, preferably with the pages 13 and 14 not missing. We'll find a PDF online. We can help you there if we can find it. We'll have a look and see if it's got those pages. Okay, he's going on about do it for the love. Prayer is a soul's sincere desire, uttered or unexpressed old hymn. Okay, and he talks here a bit, and he says something about Michael Franti. He's a singer, right, from Spearhead. Okay, Hole in Your Bucket, Dear Liza, People in the Middle, I think it is, and a couple of other ones. Yeah, I think he does a remix of 3 O'Clock Roadblock by Bob Marley with Stephen Marley. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good musician. Yeah. So what did he say about him? He stumbled upon Michael Franti at a towering 6 feet 6 inches. He's the lead singer for the band Spearhead, whose music is known for its positive messages or messaging. A highly conscious musician, he's also an activist with his own foundation, Do It for the Love. The author became really excited when he discovered that he has not one but 2 prayer tattoos. Reading the inspiration behind him, he couldn't help being completely enchanted, and his guess is that you'll be too. On his left arm are the words, "Today I pray for..." The blank line is included, and each day either he or his partner Sarah fills it in with a Sharpie. Sometimes he's praying for something or something in particular, which he's very specific about. My mom, or rain, or a friend. Or if he's playing a concert, he might even let a fan write in whatever they want to pray for. It's about positivity, he says. There are a lot of people who come to his shows who aren't feeling positive or open-hearted, and they want to get that experience from the music that night that they're playing in their town. Franti thinks having them fill in a tattoo is another way to help someone feel positive about whatever situation they're in. If that's not inspiring enough, he also has an image of a bird that turns into a fish, then into a prayer depicted by an arrow on both forearms, running from his elbows to his little finger. He calls it a prayer of abundance that originates from a story in Tahiti, and talks about that there. That sounds very interesting. Have to have a look at pictures of Michael Franti when I listen to his music to see those. It isn't a question of the divine providing, it's a question of how well you can be still and pay attention. These are the roots that form your secret prayer. He says he loved that prayer and story. It not only clearly explains the basis of receiving your sustenance and nourishment on a daily basis, it shows how uniquely different cultures see the truth of things in the world around them. Even if you're not a fisherman, you can appreciate the analogy and its message of practicing mindfulness. In other words, it isn't a question of the divine providing, it's a question of how well you can be still and pay attention. These are the roots that form your secret prayer. Cleansing prayers. and he's talking about his book at zero, its content, and another book, Zero Limits. Active gratitude. In this prayer mentioned, he's saying he's speaking directly to God, to the divine, covering the basis of the 3-step formula as shown here. 1. Active gratitude, thanking the divine. 2. Detached request, the intention is implied. You wouldn't be saying this prayer if you didn't have an intention of harmony with your partner. Inspired action, allowing the divine to take care of this through you and others. Okay, it's a cleansing prayer. Active gratitude, some questions he poses to his readers, and so forth. Okay, so we suggest again try to get this book, or go to the website. We'll leave a link down the bottom. Only problem is that you have to sign up. It's free. There's no hype, fluff, or other tricky ruses, or it's all free, but etc, etc. The only thing is you have to sign up, give them an email, create a password, click on the link in the email, and you can go borrow this book again and again and again for an hour. Right up here it goes red when you run out. Okay, so you first see it, it'll be blue. It says you can borrow it for an hour, and after your time's up it'll go red. You just click on the borrow again and read it again. Shouldn't be any problem borrowing it unless there's a sudden demand. It'll let you know, sorry, it's unavailable, someone's already booked it. Read it and see if it works for you. We're going to read it. If we can download it, we'll download it. If we can find a PDF with those pages that are missing, we'll read it in our downtime. We hope you will too. And if you enjoyed this video and you think that this book may provide you the miracles that you're seeking, then by all means find it, read it, and apply it. Oh, and don't forget to, if you like this video, to give us a like, subscribe to our channel, add your comments below the video, and tell all your friends and family and neighbours and others, look, this is the secret to getting a miracle. Something miraculous might happen in your life, will happen in your life. Just read this and apply it and see what happens. There's no sin in trying. You never know, you may receive the miracle you've been longing for. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We will see you next time.